Good morning. Hello. Welcome, everyone, to the Stephen and Peter Sachs Museum. My name is Neshka Pfeiffer, and I am the museum curator. And we are, thank you for being here at the very first performance of the Sachs Museum Performance Series related to the current exhibition, Smelling the Bouquet, Plants and Scents in the Garden. It's an exploration of how plants make sense and how we use them in our daily lives. Thanks to the generosity of garden and museum donor Nancy Riddenauer, we're able to bring all of the scent and art commissions as well as this performance series to you gratis. And we're so thrilled that you're all here for the first performance today. The performers today are Amara Arts. They're going to tell you a little bit more about who they are, but they will be making an immersive dance experience for you here. And the performance is called SAIAS, which means skirts in Portuguese. We also will have some scent that will be handed out, and our choreographer dancer, Charis Railey, will explain a little bit more. Please welcome them to the stage.
Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing today? So, I have a quick question. I want to get you all into the mindset so that we can be all experiencing this together in the same way. You all are part of the experience. It's immersive for you all and for us. So we designed these pieces based on 3 scents that I asked to be designed. And there's a piece that goes with each one. So I'm gonna have you all do a little bit, we'll just like warm up our bodies and our brains a little bit. Whenever you see us do this motion, go ahead and do it with me. We're pulling in from the air and inhaling and exhaling it. So whenever you see this motion, get ready to get a new scent. Our lovely volunteers are going to hand out some little pieces of paper. I forgot what the actual technical, there is a technical term, but I don't know what it is at the moment. Here we go, blotter strips. You're gonna be handed one. So just whenever you see that motion, be ready to grab a blotter strip and experience the next scent. Quick question, does anybody have an idea, what does, you can smell rose in your head for a moment, right? That's a pretty common scent, rose. What do you think a rose moves like? Like, what is a movement that you might put in your body that goes along with rose? Anybody want to feel that out with me? Like, think of that smell and how it makes, ooh, yes. Oh, what did you say?
Opening up.
Opening up, blooming like a blooming flower. I love that. That's beautiful. Anybody else? Rose.
Right? Like,
ooh, spirals and wrapped around each other. I love that. How about, anybody know what petrichor is? What is it?
It's the smell of rain on the ground.
Yes, so everybody smell like, you can think of what that smells like in your head after it rains outside. So what do you think that feels like in your body? Like what is that feeling of that smell for you? What would that look like in your arm or your leg or your shoulder? Little experiment.
Say like little foot tapping.
Ooh, little foot tapping like the rain. I love that. Thank you all for going on that journey with us. That's just to give you just a little bit of thought. Maybe as you're watching, be thinking, obviously you can watch art however you want. It's very subjective. I'd love to ask you about and hear your questions and thoughts afterwards. But that's some of how our process went, is thinking about how these smells make us feel and what movement comes out of them. So we are going to start. I'm going to hand my microphone to somebody. All right, thank you so much. Enjoy SAIAS.
Thank you so much.
Hi, so we'd like to open this up to discussion, questions, comments, concerns. Yes.
I got a kick out of the different nuances of the different dances as you try to interpret it with the smell. And I felt different feelings with different smells and different dances.
I love that.
That was interesting to experience.
Thank you for that. Anyone else? We can pass this around too. Like, we allotted time if anybody has questions about our process, questions about, yeah. I see you went to Cowboy Carter.
Yes, I did. It made me realize that we don't have scent without fluidity and without movement. The scent has to travel through the air to get to you, and by wafting, you get to visualize how scent travels. It's gorgeous.
Thank you so much. That's part of why we chose to incorporate textiles, because scent, we access scent through the air. So textiles are a lovely way to stir up the air and get the scents to our nose.
Thank you. I was stressed coming in, walking and breathing deep. I have such peace now. The fragrance just fills the air and I'm rested. God bless you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. The breath, we have different ways of breath. Breath can be stressful and breath can be relaxing.
So I like the idea of immersive art in general, But what I'm realizing today is it's definitely missing scent and dance. And so I enjoyed that. And it's interesting. The one thing I wasn't sure about, I noticed one person was clapping and I found myself wanting to. And so like maybe even more, engagement would be fun.
Okay, thank you for that. We will make sure to let everybody at the top next time know, because this is immersive, you're part of it, and which means you get to contribute with your voice, with clapping, with booing. If something so moves you to do so, that's fine. We're artists, we can take it.
I'd love to know maybe the choreography process, if you started with the smell and how that became dance.
It went through a few iterations. So we started talking about this last year. So I started with some scents that I was interested in, but I had a hard time narrowing it down to which scents. So Dee, her portion, I originally had named it, this is all one piece, but her portion, I had choreographed them as portions originally. Hers was originally magic, because is anybody a fantasy literature fan in here? Anybody read The Witcher or any of Sarah J. Maas's books? We gotta. So there's a lot of heroines that have scents described in the books, and for some reason, lilac is a really popular scent. So that first scent is lilac and gooseberry and nutmeg. So that's inspired by two fantasy heroines that I really like, Bryce Quinlan and Yennefer Vengerberg, from those fantasy literature worlds. But then, of course, interpreted through our vocabulary, which is Afro-contemporary.
And just to give a shout out to the museum's, the exhibition perfumers. So Weston Adam and Sean Marr, who are actually featured in one of the cabinets over there, they actually created all the scents for the exhibition, and all three scents that you smell today that were each uniquely paired and created for each of the dances.
Yes, absolutely. The second one, I was inspired by leaves. So plants that are not just ornamental, but plants that are healing. If you saw a lot of this mashing and crushing of herbs that you might do to make an herbal medicine or a tea or a poultice or something. Did anybody have a favorite scent, by the way? Here, let me talk about the third one. Sorry, I have ADHD, so I'm gonna bounce around. It's fine, I'm an artist. So, and then the third one was spices, saffron. Saffron, I've been hearing a lot lately, has antidepressant potential. I don't want to say any facts. I'm not a scientist in that way, but I was thinking about spreading joy through the air, and spices give me joy as well in teas and in food. So that was the thought there. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's do an audible vote. Cheer if, just the sense, not necessarily the dance, but the sense. If number one is your favorite scent, go ahead and give a cheer or. Okay. And then how about scent number two? Ooh, that's really interesting. What did you like about scent number two?
I like the earthiness of it. That connection with leaves and fall and autumn is really powerful.
I love that. That's interesting. I was thinking that might be people's least favorite because it's kind of sharp. It's kind of like not grassy, herbal, like you gotta have some medicine now. Yeah, that's really interesting. And then who really likes scent number three? Okay, it sounds like scent number three is the favorite. That's not going anywhere. I just was curious for my own self.
Together at the end, putting the sticks all together when you all three were dancing at the end was really.
Did anyone else do that? Put them all together at the end? I love that. I didn't even think of doing that, and I love that so much.
Yeah. If you might give us a warning next time on which end of the stick to sniff.
We'll do that at the 1 o'clock show. Thank you so much for the feedback. Love it. Any other questions or?
What was the original kernel of the idea?
Nezhka reached out to incorporate dance into this exhibit. So when I'm thinking dance and sense, my first thought was flowers, then textiles, and then the literature thing that I thought of later, that was like the third-ish. And so then those sort of swirled together, and then we got in the studio, and then the movement evolved out of that, out of the ideas of the sense.
It's also the people. If it weren't for Allison,
And Allison
none of us would have
was a
met.
connection, yes.
She did research for me on a previous exhibition and then did some for scent and dance as well. And so we had been wanting to work together or figure out a way to do dance as an interpretation of the content here at the museum. And so this is a culmination of some really special people as well as special subject.
She came all the way from New Jersey for us.
I know, exactly.
Actually, also, let me do another shout out. Our first rehearsal all together was last night because she was out of town, so. I thought I saw another hand coming up.
Thank you so much. So I just want to take a moment. I'm Jake. I work here. I'm in visitor services, and we help run the daily operations here. I just want to take a moment to talk about the history of this place. Henry Shaw, our founder, the founder of the garden here, kept people enslaved. He had up to 12 that we know about at this point. And he, in 1889, after he passed, he did a viewing in this very room. There's an incredible picture of it. So to see these beautiful women of color dancing in this space is so moving. It is so incredible. And I just think that historical context here is so important.
Thank you so much. I did not know that. Thank you so much. Did I see another hand anywhere?
Anybody have any other questions
Or comments or
or
concerns?
comments?
Comments, concerns?
Say, good job, TT. Good job, TT.
Please give a warm hand of thanks to Charis, Allison, and Dee.